need to sell my house fast and other pay per lead services are definitely going to become more and more relevant once like 10 DOC starts getting implemented. So really, really important if you guys are not invested into it. And what I love about it is, unlike direct mail or cold calling or SMS, like outbound marketing, it's something you can easily turn on or off at any given time. Yeah, we can jump right into it if you want. If you want to share your screen and just give a quick intro.
Of course, of course. So for all of you that don't know who I am, I'm Joe. I'm the manager here at Need to Sell My House Fast. We are a lead generation company. We are generating leads directly from our website from Google. So we're running Google PPC. And these leads are exclusive. They are real-time generated and delivered to you guys. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a quick presentation, but what I decided to do is focus my presentation on the frequently asked questions, right? What is it that probably all of you are asking yourselves? And I'm gonna try and cover those questions already in this presentation. If there are additional questions, we can just jump into those as well. And as soon as I'm done, we can just look at the real system live. And I have like a dummy account that I can play with and show you how it works. Okay, so this is the frequently asked questions that we get all the time. First question is how do we generate the leads, right? So what we do is we market hundreds of motivated keywords all across Google. The good thing about this is that sellers are catching us, not the other way around. So these are what we call inbound leads. They are warmer. You're not trying to reach out to them. You don't know how cold those leads are, right? And these are all exclusive, real-time generated leads that we send straight to your phone and or your email and or CRM. We have a good integration. So Sharon knows for a fact that we integrate perfectly. We're able to send leads to REsimpli as well. Okay. Now another question is how much is it worth, right? How much does it cost to get those leads? The system itself is free. We don't have any monthly fees or memberships. This is just a pay-per-lead system. So as you can see in the screen, whenever you select a state, we will automatically update everything to the latest price per lead. And I grabbed this one in particular because you can see the left column where you can see the name of the county. The next column is how big the population is, to give you an idea. And then the blue bar is how much competition within our system you can find in that county. The higher the blue bar is, the more investors we have. Okay. And then if you see, we have different prices with the same green box labeled top bid. Okay. Now, the ones that shows top bid with the price of 75 means that nobody's there. Why? Because this is the minimum that you can pay per lead. Okay, the one in Chattahoochee County that says $100 means that at least one person is already paying $100, 75 bucks. So the system is automatically jumping you $25 higher. Okay. The next question is how the bidding system works. So what we do is we send the lead to the person that's paying the highest price, the person that's paying that top bid price. Okay. So we have three different colored boxes: the red, the gray, and the green. The red box doesn't mean necessarily that you won't get leads. You just want to try and stick as close as possible to the top. So for example, if you're looking at the Cherokee County, if you go all the way down to 75, you're not going to get leads probably. But if you wait somewhere in 200 or 225, you might be able to get leads towards this part of the month when everybody's budget tends to run out. Now, what you got to understand is that you're still looking at the red box, but you're more likely to get leads than if you wait at 75. What the tight bid box means is that if you go ahead and you decrease the first county from 200 to 175, you're going to hit the tight bid, and you're basically tying the price that's currently being paid by someone else. So you're gonna match the same price, and what we do is we send one lead to each one.
It's always exclusive. Okay. And then the top bid, like I explained earlier, gives you the next lead, and you're there by yourself. Um, Another question is how many counties can you subscribe to, and what should your budget be? So you can subscribe to as many counties as you want, and the more you add, the better, because you will have a better and stable and constant lead flow than just waiting in two of your primary markets. Okay, because you're not paying anything to add counties. And your budget should always go accordingly to your price per lead. So the best way to do this is I go back. If we look at this table right here, I would say that maybe, let's say 200 is the average price per lead. So we have an average conversion, which is one in every 10 to 15 leads to close a deal within that range. It all depends on the market, depends on your experience, your ability to establish rapport with the sellers. But if we go 200 times 10 or 15, your budget should be between $2,000 to $3,000 to close a deal. But that is according to your bids. If you go with lower bids, you can go with a lower budget. The higher your bids, the higher the budget. Okay. Next question. Are your leads pre-qualified or vetted? No, they're not. Why? Because we send them in real time, just like I explained before. But what we have instead is a return policy that will help back up all those possible bad leads. And we just increased the window to dispute. We used to have 48 hours. Now it's 5 days. The reason we did this is because we want to give you more time to skip trace. Given that the leads, again, they're not vetted, and 5 days should help you try emailing or sending letters or postcards. 5 days is enough. The return policy includes many reasons: MLS, listed properties, mobile homes, vacant land, real estate wholesalers, duplicate leads when both the original and the duplicate were provided by us. You're never gonna pay for those ones as long as you dispute them with us. Okay. Um, what is your average conversion rate? We just talked about it. 10 to 15 leads in average. I do have investors that they are closing one, five, or six constantly. But this again depends on the experience, the ability to establish rapport, and follow up is the most important tool. Don't quit on the leads quickly. Try following up. Now, again, this is a return policy in case you want to write it down. But MLS listed properties, disconnected numbers, mobile homes, vacant land, wholesalers, and duplicates. Now, we have a part in the system that I'm going to show you live. It's called lead opportunities. So we are generating leads in every single county, but there are counties where we don't have investors. And we're still generating leads, but we don't want to try and lose the opportunity of sending the lead to someone. So although you're not subscribed to those counties, if you are subscribed to a county that's nearby to those ones, for example, you'll get notified of that lead and you are given the option of purchasing that lead at the minimum at $75. But it's not the opportunity of buying that lead, but we're also telling you that there's nobody there. So that's a good chance for you to add those counties and increase your lead flow, and nobody else will get ever notified of a lead there as long as you are buying leads in those counties. So I'm gonna show you how it works. It's very simple. You can filter by state. It's great. Now this is another good thing about us is you can refer people and get 10% commission out of every lead they buy, and this is a lifetime payout. Okay, so it's again it's a passive income, and you have your own affiliate links. You can change the vanity as well. So as long as someone signs up using your link, we'll know because your name will be automatically attached. Now, another question is, can you share some of the good practices to maximize the leads? I do have a few. The first one I already shared is to multiply your average price per lead times 15 and make that your budget. And the three tiers is something recently that I came up with. So again, people always come to the system looking for leads in their primary markets, and they forget about adding nearby counties at lower prices, where you can still get leads, but you gotta wait a little bit more, but it doesn't hurt your business because it's not the primary market, but you can still get some leads. So the first tier is where you're going to be the top bid or the tide bid, which is still the tide, but it all depends on how big the market is. So if it's a county where we can generate about 10 leads a month, I wouldn't recommend tying because you're gonna get every other lead, so it's not enough. But if it's a county that's big, you can be at tide. Okay. Now the second tier, you can be somewhere between $100 to $150 below the suggested price, where you can still get some leads. And then the third tier is all those $75 counties like this ones. And there's a big misconception. People just think that just because it's 75 versus 300 is a lesser quality. It is not. These are all coming from the same source. It's the same quality. So it's always a good thing to combine different prices because that way you're maximizing your spend. The
It's based on
disputes,
just demand supply, right? On your side.
yeah,
That's how
of
the
course.
price, yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the dispute is something that I'm also telling people to try and keep as low as possible. So although we allow you to dispute this, if we are real, mobile homes are not necessarily bad leads. You might not like mobile homes, but you can partner up with someone just for those deals, and you're still moving the lead around, not doing anything, but you just share the information, you get someone else work on that lead, and then you get your commission. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna make more than 200 or 300 bucks that you pay for that lead. And usually mobile homes are attached to land. So those are good opportunities. Then if the phone number is disconnected, it was the primary reason why we increased the window. Because people would automatically dispute those leads and wouldn't even try emailing. They wouldn't even see that there was an email attached to the lead. 5 days is more than enough. So if you get a number that's disconnected, try everything that you can before disputing. If you're unable to, then go ahead and dispute. Okay. Now, duplicates, of course. I mean, those ones are disputable 100%. You don't want to pay twice for the same thing. But number two and number three, try and move those leads around. The reason why it's because we're going to start prioritizing investors with a lesser dispute rate. So the less you dispute, the more lead flow you'll get from us. Okay, not to punish you, but this is to reward people that dispute less. And what I like to talk about at the end is keeping a clean game. Try not outbidding just for fun. We don't like people outbidding just to mess with other people's business. So just keep a clean game. Whenever I can, I suggest tying if I know that you can get a good amount of leads. Because whenever you start outbidding each other, you're just hurting yourself. You're spending more, and that's not the goal here. You want to try and get as many leads as possible at the least possible. And that's about it with this presentation. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is how the system looks. Okay, only 4 tabs that you need. Okay, if you go right here under counties, you have the opportunity section, which you can also find right here. It's the same thing. Okay, I'm going to go to that one first. You can filter right here by state. I'm going to go just for the fun of it to Indiana. You're gonna see when I filter, I got all the counties where I don't have anybody first. And as soon as you start seeing these ones, that means that we already have people there. This ones that shows 100 means that at least one person is currently there. But all these ones, we're doing at least a couple of leads a month. And again, if you add those ones, you're still getting a few leads that you're just combining with different prices and you're still walking towards the same conversion. So you can go ahead and you can filter any state, okay? You can see the same thing. If I go right here to add counties and I go to Indiana, you'll see easily all those counties at 75, okay? If I drop this one to 75, right there, I hit the tight box. If I go ahead and I do this right here, same thing, tight box. And if I decrease again, this is basically second place. You're right below the guy that's currently paying the highest price. But I don't know how low you have to go. Um, to get into third place. It's not necessarily always $25 below. Okay. So it's just trial error. You go to 175. If you're not getting any leads, all you need to do is increase your bid. Okay. And you can always turn off the counties. I'm going to subscribe to a few of them. I'll show you. If I go to my counties, I can shut off easily. I only want leads from this one. I want to turn this one off and this one on, and I want to decrease to 75. You can do all of these changes in real time. Okay. Last thing right here, the deliveries is where you can go ahead and you can add as many emails and as many phone numbers as you want. And this is where you connect the CRM. Okay. Very, very simple. If you ever need help, I can do it for you. It's very, very easy. And let me see if I'm missing something. And right here, when you click on your name, everything that you need, you'll find right here. We do have some videos that will show you how to use the system. This is the first video. This one is what we send you automatically when you sign up with us, which basically tells you how the system works in 5 minutes. And then you got the return policy right here that you do need to read and sign with your name. And finally, this is where you add the payment. And once you have all of that done, you will have the option of activating and pausing your account. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm open to.
Yeah, there's a question that Seamus has. Can you talk about subscribing to the state for $75 per lead?
Oh yeah, of course. That's a really good question. Thank you for that. Let me go to that first. So if I go to Arkansas, for example, and I want to subscribe to all of it at 75, that's gonna be great to get basically you're filtering instead of clicking so many counties, you're just grabbing everything at 75. But this price won't help you much in counties like this one because you're gonna be in Craighead at 75. You won't be able to modify. So if I go to all of and you subscribe to that, and then you want to modify your price and you want to get lead at Craighead at 225, now you're at 225, but you're overspending in this counties where you're not required to because you can get leads at 75. Make sense? So at the end, what I recommend is if you are going to go with all of the state and there are counties that are a little higher than what you're looking to spend right here, then go ahead and add those counties individually so that you can always modify those prices.
So you could subscribe to the entire state at 75, then individually go
Yeah.
into a county.
So you
And
can go right. So I can go at 75, right? And then I can subscribe to this county because I know that
at two.
75, yeah,
Okay.
75 would be enough. So I can just subscribe to this one and let's see if there's another one just for the fun. Yeah, like this one. So if I
Okay.
go to my counties, right, and I didn't have this ones, and I'm not getting leads in those two counties that are good ones, I would need to modify my bid here, but you are going higher in counties that you're not required to because you're already getting leads at 75. So you can be here at 75 and just wait for some leads at 75, but the primary markets from those counties, from those states, you can add them individually so that you can play with the bidding right here.
Okay, perfect. So it doesn't affect. So it like for these two counties, this is your bid, and for everything else, it's 75.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
just
That makes sense.
to help you click less.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Uh-huh.
Seamus, do you have any follow-up questions to that?
No. So basically, I would go because I'm actually in the account now, and I would subscribe to the entire state,
Okay.
and then it would show you all of the counties. Then I would just go next to the counties that I want to bid higher and just bid that price there, right?
Yep. But you don't have to go higher than what we are already suggesting.
Gotcha.
Okay. So if you already see right here, you don't have to go higher because you're already at the green box.
Gotcha. All right, makes sense. All right, appreciate it, Joe. Nice to finally see you, whatever. I know we talk on the phone and everything.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Now that I'm reading your name, yeah. Nice to finally see your
Appreciate it.
face.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
happens. I get to talk to everybody, and then I go to events, and they're like, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "How am I supposed to remember you?"
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
Joe, if you go to, yeah, let's just stay on this county, the Kent County, for example. Let's say if I am bidding, if the top bidder is at 375, and if you go down to 300, for example, on
Yeah,
this, let's say if I want to bid at 300, but the other investor is bidding at 375, and let's say the other investor's budget is, just for the number's sake, 3,750, and then there's only two investors. That investor at 375, me at 300. So the first 10 leads, because he's putting 375 per lead, first 10 leads, because his budget is 3,750, will go to him. Now that his budget has run out, I will get the leads at $300 per lead. Correct?
that is hard.
So
Yep.
so you could sort of like, and it's based on the calendar month, right? From
Yeah,
the first, okay. So if that other investor's budget runs out in the first 10 days and I have a budget of $3,000, then I'll get the next 10 leads at $300 per lead until my budget runs out. And now, because both other investor and my budget has run out, then nobody is getting those leads. And then come
exactly.
the first of the month, the same cycle starts again.
That is correct.
Okay.
And something that I want to point out is that the budget is not necessarily just for one county. It's an overall budget. So while this guy is getting leads at
Right.
375, he's also
Yep.
getting leads from
Exactly.
other counties. So let's say that a county is small and we only do 10 leads a month in average, right? So it would suck for that guy to get all 10, because then finally when you can start getting leads, you wouldn't be able to, because we're not generating more, or maybe just one
Right.
or two. But maybe he's getting leads from other counties at the same prices, or his budget will
Right.
deplete.
Will
So
decrease.
there's always
Yes.
going to be, yeah,
Yeah. And then, guys, I don't know who was on the call yesterday about 10 DLC, and I've been stressing this for a long time. Service like need to sell my house fast will become more and more relevant to your business as we go into, come September 1st with the 10 DLC changes, where you can't, I mean, you can, but you really don't want to be. It's going to get more and more challenging to do SMS marketing for lead gen. So you want to definitely start looking into some inbound marketing. I've been using Need to Sell
yeah,
My House Fast. You get quality leads. And good thing with Need to Sell My House Fast is like they don't have to follow the 10 DLC, so it's on us, but we get those leads sent straight to us. And if you're not looking into that, I would 100% start looking into, Need to Sell My House Fast, I guess, to add it to your marketing channel. And you don't have to go with the high bid. If you could just say, hey, my budget is only $200 per lead, for example, and I can spend max, let's say at 15 leads,
yeah,
$3,000. Just set it at that and see it for a month. If you get any leads, maybe then bump it up to 225. You can get a sense of how much the other investor in your market is spending. And if you start noticing that you're getting some leads towards like the later half of the month, then okay, the other investor has a certain budget. Once that runs out, I'm getting those leads at a little bit lower cost based on what fits my budget. So you can
yeah.
you can get really creative with that if you work your numbers. So you're not like basically sort of getting your leads at the beginning of the month. You're getting a little bit towards the end of the month based on the
Yeah.
budget that you're comfortable with.
And also it's so that's a very good point. And we don't work with those monthly fees because we understand that if you're waiting, you should only spend lead money on leads. And Sharad, I mean, you've been in the system for a long time and you are successful with the leads, but it's my responsibility to let everybody know that it doesn't mean that this will work for everybody, right? So that's the
Right.
reason why we don't have any contracts, right? If this doesn't work, I mean, you can always reach out to me or Sharad and get some insight. But if this doesn't work, we allow you to pause your account at any point. It's very important that you don't spend the money that you don't have, but also keep in mind that this is a business in general where you cannot expect for every lead to convert. And while you're waiting to convert, you have to spend money on those other leads. And whenever you do convert, that's going to pay for all those other leads that didn't. But I get a lot of people expecting to try the system with a $300 budget, right? We don't even charge the budget up front because we understand that this is a walk to process. But don't expect spending 300 to close a deal. I mean, this is a system where, again, the conversion tends to be 10 and 15 to close a deal. And
And
that will
also
depend on the market.
yeah, another thing to keep in mind is like you spend that money and it's not you get the lead and then you're going to close immediately. You know, you're getting warm leads, but sometimes you'll come across these leads from need to sell my house fast that are going to be ready to sell right now, and it just happens that the house works out and it's a totally qualified lead. You're able to do that, but just because you're getting these warm leads, you need to have a follow-up system that you're staying in touch with these leads, just like with any other lead that you have. And Joe, we have a couple of questions. One from Yolanda. Where do you input your maximum budget amount in this system?
Okay, one second,
Yeah,
I'll show you right
good
now.
question.
Yeah, when you click right here, everything that you need is right here in this menu. So right here where you go to view profile, you're gonna find the monthly budget option right here. By default, everybody's budget is set this way, unlimited. Because again, whatever number you put in, we're not gonna charge it as a credit. We're only gonna walk towards it. So this is a very important thing for me to explain. So thank you, Yolanda. If we go back to the 1000, right? And our bids are set to 100, okay? What's gonna happen is every time you get a lead, we're not gonna decrease the budget. The way this works is like this. So let's say everything is set to $100, and we get the first lead with $1,000 budget. So it's gonna say right here on the dashboard. Right here. You see this part says 0 out of 1,000. Okay? So the first lead that you get is going to say 100 out of 1,000. It's not going to decrease to 900. So you get the first lead, and then you get the second one. So it's going to say 200 out of 1,000. And let's say that second lead, you went ahead and you disputed under one of the reasons that we allow. So what's going to happen is we're not going to decrease back to 100. We're just going to apply credits. We don't do refunds. We're going to apply credit for whatever you paid for that lead. In this case, it's 100. So the next lead that you get, you're going to use those credits. It's going to say 300 out of 1,000 when you actually just spend 200 for now. Okay? So whatever budget you set right here, it's not even real, because if you are looking to spend $1,000, you have to keep in mind that the credits also apply. So just earlier this morning, I had an investor that was concerned because it said that he was spending over, what was it, like 13 or 1400, and that was because we were combining the credits as well. Okay, so the budget, if it's 1,000, I would say that maybe 500 or 600 will actually be spent. The other 500 or 400 will be just recycled credits. If that answers the question.
And Andre said this stuff works, guys. We just started using it 4 weeks ago, and we are under contract on a flip and a verbo in our main market. So they already have like a couple of deals under contract. Yeah, I agree. It works.
Great.
And another thing to keep in mind is this, like need to sell my house fast and other pay-per lead services are definitely going to become more and more relevant, once like 10 DOC starts getting implemented. So really important if you guys are not invested into it. And what I love about it is like, unlike, direct mail or cold calling or SMS, like outbound marketing, it's something you can easily turn on or off at any given time. You may feel like, hey, I've gotten 15 leads. I just want to work on these 15 leads for now. I don't want to get any more leads and then have these slip through the crack. You can just easily turn it off, come in, just click, disable. And then when you're like, okay, I closed my deal, I want to invest more money, you can go back and start doing that immediately. So that's the great thing about it. So I would highly, highly recommend you guys start looking into inbound marketing channels if you're not doing that. Yeah, I have a call with my team tomorrow about figuring out like to how we start investing more into it and figure out like how to do that. Maybe some markets we do a little bit lower budget just to see if we start getting some leads towards the second half, the later half of the month. And then on our main market, we're getting leads upfront towards the beginning of the month. But it's just a timing issue, but at least start bidding with an amount that you feel super, super comfortable with. Let's say, I live in San Diego County. I'm just, maybe the bid amount is $500, but I could say, you know what? I am more than happy to pay $250 a lead, and I may just set my budget at $250. If I get a lead, fantastic. If not, then I'll maybe do
Nothing happens.
$275 because I'm willing to wait. So just test it out like that, just to get comfortable with the system at a price that makes sense for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And then so the question that Michelle had, so minimum cost per lead is $75 in any county. But depending on the competition, it'll go up from there, but it won't be on any county. It will not be less than $75 per lead.
and I don't want to sound harsh, but honestly, I decided to stop signing up investors if I know that you're not gonna get a lead. Because I've had people trying to get leads in competitive markets and all they could spend was $75. So
Right.
there was no point even in joining
No
because
point.
you're
Yeah.
not gonna get anything.
Right.
So what I ended up saying is again, go with the nearby counties at 75, right? Instead of going with that market because it was unrealistic for me to sign him up if he wasn't gonna get anything anyways.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then this is something, you start out with the price and then you keep bumping it up to a point where you feel comfortable. It's just a timing thing. I'm okay getting leads a little bit lower cost towards, the later half of the month. It doesn't matter. And then I know, okay, I'm getting leads from 15 to the 38 of each month. And that's how I set, my systems. But once you start doing that, at a price that makes sense, like, having an average of 15 leads per a signed contract, it's nothing. Even if you're bidding like $250 to $300, and you think about it, the potential that you have, you easily making 3 to 4x on the money that you're investing.
Yeah.
And the great thing is like there's no other cost associated with it. Like it's just very clear cut dry that this is what I'm paying cost per lead. You're not pulling less, you're not skip tracing. You may have to skip trace an odd lead here and there that you get, and then you have to keep in mind sometimes that when the lead is filling in that information, they may mistype the information, but it's still a warm lead. So if you
Yeah.
are the one who's willing to go a step, ahead than anybody else, and you go ahead and skip trace, you're like, oh, wait a minute, they just input their number incorrectly because the lead, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, like you guys are doing, online marketing, and as you're getting those leads, it's possible someone like say if I'm a potential seller, I go to a website, I see your ad, I fill in the correct address, but I accidentally put my wrong phone number. I'm still interested in selling my property, but I accidentally put a wrong phone number. Maybe I missed a digit or I put a wrong digit, but that doesn't mean that I'm not interested in selling my house. I'm still interested, but if you as an investor, go to this length of skip tracing, getting my right phone number, sending me
That is
direct
right.
mail, then you definitely have an advantage over other
And
investors that are just saying,
and
hey, this
we
is the wrong
do
number.
and we do provide the emails as well. But people again misconception that emails don't convert, but they do.
Yeah,
So you gotta try everything that you can. If you're nearby, knock on the door, postcard, letters, anything that you can. Just don't throw the lead away just because the phone number is wrong.
yeah.
But we
And
are
then,
paying for a service that verifies that it's a working number and a working email. So what you're getting, and that's something that it's 95% of the times, every single lead gets verified in real time before sending it out. It's a working number and a real number and a real email.
right. Dan, Dan has a question. What information are we given? I'm just looking at, I get a text every time I get a lead from Need to Sell My House Fast. You get name, name, property address, city, state, zip, email, and phone number. So that's what you get. So you get a way to communicate them through call, text, and email.
And,
of course,
if you
the
want,
property address.
I can do a quick test real quick. Give me just 1 second. Let me show you guys my phone, so that you can see how fast we actually generate them. I hope this works. Let me remove the background. Okay.
Hello, Joe.
Yeah. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So let me open up my text messages, and I'm going to send a test right here. Okay, test. And I'm gonna get right there. I just got it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. It looks like this.
Yep, that's exactly, yep. Name, address, email, phone number.
Okay.
And then the way we have set up in our system, guys, is when we get the lead, so we have it synced right into REsimpli. So if you need help with that, I put a link in the chat. Here, I'll put it again. And you can just use email parsing, or I don't know, somebody in my team did this for me, but I'll put it in the chat. You can have it where as soon as the information, you get a lead, it automatically goes into REsimpli. And then you can have a text go out to the lead, and you can have an email go out to the lead, and it creates a task for someone in your team to call. So you can set it up if you want to, communicate with them through text, email, phone call. So you can do that. So it takes away a lot of the manual work that you have to do in the system. Yeah, and then I mean, again, with any lead, like the faster you get in touch with the lead, the better chances you will have to, just take the deal forward. And then also important, very, very important to make sure you stay on top of these leads. They may be in the market to sell their house, but they may not be ready right at this second, but they may be ready in a month or 2 months to sell their property. So you want to make sure you're following up with these. Like Joe said at the beginning of this call, these are warm leads. These are people that initiated the contact. There was some sort of motivation that they went to, let's say, Google and said, hey, I need to sell my house fast. And, Joe and his team are really good on getting, the targeted keyword. So you have to understand there was some motivation. Like this is not I need to sell my house fast. Is not sending direct mail or calling or texting people. It's the lead that's initiating the contact. So you want to understand that they have some motivation in selling their house. So you want to make sure you stay on top of those leads. 15 leads, even if you say 20 leads, like you're just getting started, 20 leads per signed contract is really, really, really good numbers. Compare that to texting, cold calling, or direct mail. It's really good, but just the process once you get a lead is to stay on top of them and just have a process that you're following them through.
Outbound is time consuming.
Outbound is time consuming, and also Joe, like you and I were talking yesterday, you're not in the very aware of like how the 10 DLC regulations by carriers are starting to like basically block spam messages. So you could like you can just go pull a list from somewhere, skip trace, and start cold texting. That's going to go away. That's a big part of what a lot of investors are doing. You cannot anymore just cold text people. So I was telling people on the call yesterday that inbound marketing, and I mentioned need to sell my house fast. Services like need to sell my house fast is going to become more and more important in your business, because like you have this texting is going away. Basically, it's becoming very, very challenging. And like cold calling, it takes a lot of time and effort, and direct mail can be super expensive. You have to commit to 6 months of list rolling and sending consistent mail, which is great, it works. But then if you're just starting out, you want lead system that you turn on and off, and you're getting warm leads to begin with. It's a really great system. Yeah. Dan, I can do a separate. So Dan has a question. Can you go over your process of how you handle these leads and REsimpli your team? If you send an email to support, like I put the link in the video, so you can follow the steps. But if you want to have, if you send an email to support at REsimpli, or you can send Anthony at REsimpli.com, he can actually connect your need to sell my house path leads directly with REsimpli. And then it's just a matter of depending on how you want to communicate with the lead. You can just have them be automatically go to a drip campaign. And then you can choose if you want to have it go to, have initially contact them through email, phone call, or text messaging. So need to sell my house first. All they're doing is they're sending over the lead to you. Then the responsibility of doing opt-in, it falls on you. Need to sell my house fast is not doing any of that. They just basically get a lead, online lead, they send it over to you, and you're the only one who has that lead. Now let's say if I am the seller, you're talking to me, then you want to make sure you and I have that conversation where you ask me my permission. Hey, is it okay if I text you about this your property 123 Main Street? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, if
So
you
at the
send an
point
email
that
to
the point
go
you
ahead.
get the moment you get the lead, the company has never contacted the seller.
Yes.
There's no phone calls, no text, anything. We just send you the lead, bold, directly from the submission.
Yeah. So need to sell my house fast. They're doing like online ads nationwide using different, websites or different online marketing channels that they have, and they're getting those warm leads, and they're just passing over to the highest bidder in that county. So that's it. Like need to sell my house fast is never talking to the seller. They have the system to make sure that the phone number is validated, the email is validated. But once that is done, then you just get the lead, and then it's your lead at that point, and you're the only person who has that lead. Now, how you handle that, it falls on you, like all the 10 DOC compliance and everything. It falls on us as investors to make sure we do that. Like need to sell my house fast have nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, just really quick, the leads can only be bought at the county level, right? I'd say if I live in San Diego County and I was only interested in the city of San Diego, that is not possible, right? You have to subscribe to
It's
the entire
not.
county. It's all or nothing when it comes to the county level.
Yep, yep. It's the whole county, and to share a funny story, I had an investor saying that the problem with the county he wanted is that there's a lake, and the good part of the county is on the other side of the lake, and it takes him like 3 hours to go around. So I suggested for him to buy a boat and
Yeah.
just go across.
There you go.
It's gonna be faster. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to filter, but again, we allow you to uh, decide how you want to play the game. You grab that county, and if you're getting the majority of the leads in the parts that you don't like, that county's not working for you.
Right. And then you can also partner up with, let's say, if you are in a county and you only buy in certain cities, you will buy in certain, other cities, and you're getting some lead. Find someone that you can partner up with, similar to what Joe was saying about, this mobile home park, mobile homes that you're getting. So look into that, partner up with someone and say, hey, look, I'm getting these leads. I don't buy in this area. I'm going to send these leads over to you. Let's figure out, you can kick back, help me with some of the costs. And then when we sell the property, when we make some money, we can come up with a split that works for both of us.
Yep, be as motivated as the seller.
Right.
That's what I always say.
Yep. Yeah, the important thing to keep in mind is these are inbound leads, which everything else being equal generally tend to be more motivated than your SMS, cold calling, or direct mail lead. Because these are the people, these are the people that took the initiative to, without anybody reaching out to them, something motivated them to go to Google and say, hey, I want to sell my house fast. And they took, the effort to fill in all the forms. So there is some motivation that these people have wanting to sell their house. So that's what you want to keep in mind. Is these are like higher quality leads than your, outbound leads.
That is correct.
Any other questions you guys have? All right. All right. And then Joe, can you share your information, or do they need your information? Do they just go to the platform and just sign up? What's the best?
So I think that the best way to do this is if you already shared your link, right, Sharad?
I've not had a link with you guys. I use the service. I use the service, so I talk about it all the time. So yeah, I
Mm,
mean, I don't have an affiliate link with you guys, but I just
I'm
want
gonna
people to
I'm
get
gonna
the
help you. Yeah, I'm gonna share. Let me just get it real quick. Give me 1 second, and I'll put it on
and
the. I'll put it right here.
yeah.
And yeah, and that's gonna be a way for me to know that you're coming from this
Yeah,
Zoom. Yeah,
yeah.
1 second.
And then we'll send it out to our users also. A lot of people are not able to join at this time.
Okay, I'm copying right now.
Andres, that's a great question sorry, Joe, that's a great question Andre had. Do you ever see need to sell my house fast moving to city instead of county only in the future?
Uh,
You guys, I'm sure you guys get a lot of, people asking this. Have you guys thought
yeah.
about that?
So not in the near future, and that's just because if not, we've been losing a lot of leads from the parts of that county, and those might be still good opportunities. So we're just trying to help out the seller as well. So I don't see that happening soon.
Okay. And then Joe put that link in the chat if you want to go, click on that link and sign up for the service. We'll send it out to our users also. And Braden, yes, and Anthony from our team, if you email like support at REsimpli, or if you want to email Anthony directly, he can definitely help with Zapier integration. He's really good with that. He's helped a lot of other investors with that, so that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Joe, I want to thank you so much for your time. This is great, man.
Thank you,
And I think
guys,
especially
for
very relevant. Again, you're not into the whole details of 10 DLC, but I've been telling a lot of investors for the last month or so, like as we get this, SMS regulation coming in place, the inbound marketing is going to become more and more important and relevant in our business. If you're not investing into that, definitely look into Need to Sell My House Fast. I use them. I'm very happy with that. We get, warm leads. And then again, look at other
yeah,
inbound marketing like your own PPC, radio, TV, if you can do that. But the thing with Need to Sell My House Fast or other services like that, what I like is it's super, like you can literally be set up in like 5 minutes and start getting leads. And then if you have enough leads, you run out of budget, you just turn it off until when you're ready to start again.
great.
Cool. All right, guys. And I'm going to put this link in the chat. We're trying to just, get some reviews. If you can please take like literally 5 seconds. If you get any value from these calls, if you can please click on it, it literally takes you to the review page. And if you can give us a 5-star reviews, would really help us, our team. Our developers don't get to, jump on these calls, but when they see the reviews, they get super excited and motivated, seeing that the work that they're doing is adding value to you guys. So if you can do that, will be much appreciated. Cool. All right. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
And
Hope
last thing, I'm
everything.
going to put my phone
Yeah.
number
Thank you
here
for
in
it.
case someone wants to reach me directly.
Yeah, if you can put that in the chat, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Sharad, I do have one quick question before we disconnect.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for people who want to join your podcast, you still have a podcast, correct?
We do, yes.
What would be the process to get onto that? I think you had sent me a link some time ago, and I'm interested in joining at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. You can just email me directly, but I send you my email address. It's sharad@resimpli.com. Yeah,
Okay.
and then yeah, we would love that.
Great, sounds good. And I'll send you a one-page about me and everything, so you have it.
Perfect. That'll be fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for jumping on the
Thank
call.
you
I
for
know,
the invitation.
you're
Always a
dealing with
pleasure.
the COVID scare, so I appreciate you jumping on the call.
COVID free.
And yeah, COVID free now. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, I highly
Okay.
recommend, we only bring people on these calls for the services that I'm actually using. So this is a service that I actually use, very happy with. and it's going to become more and more important, relevant for real estate investors as we, go into this more SMS regulation. So if you haven't looked into it, definitely have a look. Ted, did you have another question?
No, that was an
Right.
accident.
Oh, okay, no
Thank you.
worries. Cool. All right, guys.
Okay.
And Joe put his information in the chat. So if you
Yep.
want to reach out to him through email or through text or call, just to find if you need help with getting set
Yeah.
up or have any other questions, he can definitely help with that. And then if you can please take 5 seconds to give us a review if you're getting value out of it. If you can take 5 seconds to give us a 5-star review, we'll really, really appreciate that. All right, cool. Thank you,
Okay.
guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys on the next week call.